Welcome to Keeping Athena Company. Right, my name is Athena Company. I'm a stand-up comedian, I'm a writer, podcaster. You two know that already.
Yes.
And I'm also a parent, and being a parent is lots and lots of fun, and I'm having a great time, but I do occasionally crave adult conversation and company. So I tempt people over to my mum's kitchen with plantain, hydration, conversation, and baby!
Yes!
So
everything we love.
So welcome to my kitchen, Keeping Athena Company's first. So I've got two of you in.
Yes.
I forgot it. Fathia el-Ghorri.
Yeah.
Is it el-Ghorri?
It's el-Ghorri.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. Am I going to get el-Ghorri? And Esther Manito.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as 1.5 Arabs.
Yeah. That's what
Who
we're
I
all
love.
known as.
So I love your sketches so much on Instagram and Facebook. They make me laugh. So I was like, I don't want you individually anymore, ever. I only want if I see you on the street and you're just on your own, I'll ignore you. I will only accept you together. But how are you?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm munching.
Yeah, Esther's eating. Rude.
I love plantain.
It's not rude. It would be rude not to eat.
I'm going to eat, but after we because I don't want to be like it's bad enough speaking Arabic, innit?
I don't mind if you get that dry mouth. I had this thing, so because I've got Caribbean, Indian, and Ghanaian heritage, I've got this thing about hospitality.
Yes.
Oh my god, I've got Arabs coming around. Like, am I going to be hospitable enough? Because I know
lucky. Well, I was going to bring you a full-blown sheep, mate. I'm telling you. Yeah, slaughter it in the garden.
It's a bit much. Yeah. No, you've done well.
Have I done well?
You have
done well.
All right,
and thank you for having us in your home.
Yes,
that's all right.
Thank you.
So you can ask my question, how are you? You can answer it together or individually. What would you prefer?
I'm good. I mean, we've started doing a bit more stuff, which has been cool.
Yeah.
And we're both carrying on doing individual stand-up, but the sketch stuff has been good. And
How did that start? Sorry to interrupt. How did the sketch stuff start?
I don't know. How did it?
remember.
I can't remember either.
You just existed.
We
and
were
just
like
hilarious.
Yeah, because I think there's loads of things that happen, and like being Arab, and so there's loads of things that happen, and obviously females as well, and me being visibly identifiable, and Esther.
Well, she's got the eyebrows.
Exactly, and the hair, Don't forget the hair.
I think that was part of it.
So there's lots of things that we see that happen to us, things people say to us because we're Arab.
But I think it's the fact that we are so different, because obviously
Yes.
I'm half, you're fully Moroccan, but we're both British, but you're
Yeah.
practicing Muslim, I'm not religious.
Yeah.
So it was the fact that the reaction to us would be so different, because obviously it's not until I say that I'm Arab, so no one ever really sees me coming.
Right.
But with Fatiha, it's a lot more obvious, but you kind of get shoved in with being just Muslim and not really
Yes.
referred to as being Arab. So there's that.
Yes.
So we thought, I don't really know how it came about that we started doing sketches, but we started doing more and more banter, I think, just between us. And then we were like, maybe we need to start filming this and putting the content out there.
To show also, like, you know, like our experiences as Arabs in our like things that happen at home as well as things that happen to you in, I don't know how to say this, in like on the comedy circuit in the Western culture, the way people perceive you and stuff like that. And I also have like a massive issue because I'm North African, because I'm Moroccan, but I'm also Arab.
Yeah.
So the Africans say to me, "You're not African because you're not black," and then the Arabs are like, "You're not Arab because you're from North Africa." So I'm torn.
And then British people are like, you're Muslim.
Yeah,
like, whatever.
exactly.
And like the rest of it isn't relevant.
Exactly, yeah.
You're Muslim.
People get really freaked out if they can't put you into a box and
Yes.
just tick that box. They get really freaked out by it. And I think not necessarily in a bad way, but just they get really confused by it. And it's that thing of saying, well, how can you say you're Arab and then you're not Muslim? It's like, well, I'm not religious, and I'm not gonna use a religion to identify with when I don't believe in God. But then there'll be also between us, you know, how can you two get along? Well, I drink and I'm not religious, you're religious, and it's a nice way of showing how in the Middle East those groups do rub along.
Yeah, and they get along fine.
There's a real mythology about the Middle East, about how it's just this uniform kind of like, you must not drive, you must not do this, you must not do that. And it's like people go to Dubai on holiday 3 times a year.
Yeah.
And it's like, where is Dubai? So there's obviously some kind of misinformation.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that's not to say there aren't states in the
Yeah,
Middle
of
East
course,
where these things don't happen.
Yeah.
Can we just talk? So you're Moroccan, Fathia,
Yes.
and what's your heritage? Just for the purpose of the podcast.
I
know, because I know. Don't listen, man. I'm not a snitch, but I should be. I could just coax people to my house and call the Home Office. Do they pay? Probably not.
You could strike a deal with them.
Yeah.
got someone for you.
I'm British Lebanese.
Okay. And what kind of things happen to you both on the circuit, which kind of reflects the way you both your appearance and the way it's perceived? You look at me like you've got so many stories.
Oh my God.
This podcast tends to be half an hour, so just bear that in mind.
I think the word Arab still scares people.
Yeah.
So
the Delta Force.
Yeah, it's kind of like saying the word.
Office.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's kind of like going up on stage sometimes and saying the word Arab is almost like getting up on stage and saying, "I am
a murderer."
But no, not even that. Just like almost like the reaction sometimes of people are going, you know, is that real? Is that a real thing? Does that really exist?
I think for you it's more like that because they can't physically identify you as that, so it's more shocking. I don't have that issue because they see me straight off. But then the issues I have is that people are like, are you a character act? Is this real? Yeah,
That was mainly me that said that. It is a character act. She just puts
Sometimes when you're really foul mouthed, I think this isn't a real person. If you haven't seen Fathia on stage, you do take it places. I'm like, raw girl.
Yeah, sometimes I do I do it to cater to the audience. So if I'm doing a Muslim crowd, I ain't doing that. No. So it's called clean and halal. Do you know what I mean? But like, halal means permissible in Islam. So like. For the people that might not know, I know you're up on your stuff.
I know halal and haram.
Yes, so haram is forbidden and halal is okay.
And that's the extent of my knowledge. So please don't assume anything else. That's it.
permissible.
So yeah, like I'm like if you have to cater to your audience. So yeah, because I am loud. I am like I don't take nonsense and things like that. So that is my personality. So I'll bring that across whether I'm swearing or not. So even in the halal ones, I'll bring that across as well.
Do you feel like when you do that, you're subverting an audience perception?
What do you mean by not swearing? Or?
Well, there's a so I have a big thing about the perception of the position of women in Muslim societies.
Yes.
If I go to a doctor and that doctor's a woman, that doctor is more than likely to be a Muslim woman. All right.
Okay.
So
really,
well, what I mean is like this idea that women are inherently oppressed in Muslim societies is rubbish, because actually in high achieving women in Western societies tend to be of Muslim heritage.
That's
actually
right.
a fact.
Yeah.
But their perception is docile, quiet, henpecked, so to speak.
Uneducated.
So do you find that
you're uneducated, so you're
shut your mouth.
She's definitely challenging that stereotype of Muslim women being educated.
She's
going to get poked with this.
That's like a way to fight injustice. Like I'm just not going to go to school. I'm not going to be a doctor.
Exactly.
Why should I be a doctor? Why can't I fight the stereotype?
Exactly. I'm like, Mum, you want a doctor? Hell no. I'm going to be a lipstick model, okay?
Lipstick.
And then she's like, Fatiha, off with your head. But no, let's leave that.
They don't mean it.
No,
they don't mean it.
That just means I love you. That's how we say I love you. So yeah, going back to your question. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to smash the stereotypes, and I want people to make people think twice and to change their way of thinking. You know, to question stuff, not just to assume. Do you know what I mean?
And how did you two meet? Did you meet before comedy?
No.
Oh, because I thought you might have been friends before comedy.
No, I saw her.
Can't be friends with her.
This baby and your plantain.
I have to give her plantain to keep her quiet. She's gonna.
I love it.
In 2 years' time, when
this could.
In 2 years' time, the health visitor's like, "Why did your child weigh 15 stone?" I'll be like, "Well, I had this podcast. I need this to be quiet."
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So friends. So do you remember when you first met?
I saw you at G&B.
So did I.
So
and I was like, oh, for God's sake.
So was I.
So here we go. Someone who thinks she's.
Oh no! Was it the "I want to be the only Arab in the village" thing?
Yeah.
You're like, another one.
Yeah,
I love that. Honestly, that's so true. You want to be the only one. You're like, oh my God, we're really underrepresented. And then as soon as another one comes along, you're like, will you back off my territory?
And then they go on stage and do like Muslim Arab material. You're like, God damn it!
Yeah,
that's what I got. No, genuinely, I didn't feel because we're so different. But I didn't feel that. I don't think there's anyone on the circuit that is particularly similar in terms of talking about being Arabs. I think we've all got our own perspective. But we then did Arabs Not Funny.
Yes.
And then we kind of clicked from then. And I think because our material's so different and our style's so different, I think that's what made us quite a good combination in terms of us being so different in the way that we write comedy, in the way that we perform, in our beliefs, in our backgrounds, but then we're both kind of unified under this umbrella of what it is to be Arab.
Do you hang out with each other outside of comedy?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. You do?
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you go cinema?
No, like, not really so much. We'll go, sometimes we go to Esther's house or she'll come to my work.
Hang on a minute. Okay, what's going on here? Is there food involved in this?
Yeah. They tried to feed me pork, you know. I'm like, are you mad, bruv? Are you mad?
That wasn't me. That wasn't me. That was my infidel husband. Was that you? He was like, do you want a sausage sandwich? I was like, oh my God.
I was like, yeah, Neil.
No, he did it to wind up. He does it to wind up my family.
No, he's really nice. No, he's really safe.
That's interesting because Esther, you live with your dad as well, right? Is that correct?
My dad's down the road. I actually say in my comedy that he lives with me, but my dad's down the road.
Do you want me to cut that out?
No, it's fine.
Oh, that's okay. But he must come around a lot.
Yeah, he's there every day.
That's sweet.
I think you kind of... It doesn't matter how long you're away from your parents. The moment you're back with them, you do revert to being 14 again.
Yeah.
In their eyes.
Oh, yeah. It's so true.
I think it's even more stressful when you then have a child, but they know better for your child than you, and you're like...
What? 70s parenting? Are you sure?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Really?
I don't have kids, but I just see that with my mum and my sister and her kids, and that you're right. It is like you said.
My mum's version of childcare is stick her on the TV. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like it's 1 a.m. like put her to bed or something.
Well, they always they forget. They totally forget when they were bringing up kids, so they're just putting. They're completely idolising that they were these perfect parents. So my dad will say things all the time like, you know, they do this because you don't do this. And I'm like, do you not remember when we were kids? I remember, you know, not being able to cope with that. Or,
well, my mum would say things like, well, you watched TV when you were kids. Like, in 1984 when there were 3 channels. That's about half an hour of kids' TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now there's literally porn on Freeview.
Yeah.
She cannot get used to being in front of the TV because one day she's going to start pressing buttons and then she's going to watch something awful.
Yeah.
And I'll have to explain this all to a counsellor. So what kind of things does your mum say to your sister about your nieces?
So she's just like yesterday we was at her house, went to her house, and my little niece decided it would be a good idea to start twerking. And my mum was like, oh my Allah, what is this? What, tomorrow you wear niqab? And I was like, what is, niqab is a face veil.
I know, the thing is you can still twerk in that.
It's like, that's what I mean, isn't it? She's like, tomorrow you start praying and niqab. And all this, and my mum says...
How old's your niece?
7.
She's twerking at 7?
Yeah, you should see the things they know.
But this is what scares me about children because this one, like she's 11 months old, she knows, she sees a screen, she starts like looking at it, she's always pressing buttons on my laptop, so it doesn't take long for them to start to be able to consume content independently. Also that it's like monkey see, monkey do.
Yes.
I've got a joke about how there are really cool monkey sayings about babies, but I can't use them.
Oh.
And it's like really annoying. And my baby looks like a cheeky monkey, but it's like, oh, I can't use monkey, I can't say you cheeky little squirrel.
Because they are so like chimpanzees. They're literally like that. Like I was saying that to you earlier, like when they cling on to you, they're like these little, like when you see monkeys in documentaries and their little ones are just clung to their mums, that's exactly as babies are. It's the best way to describe them. And I think that's why you feel so like when you see little like chimpanzees and monkeys, you're like, oh my god, because it reminds you of that age when they just clung around
and they
you.
look like little babies. But I've also decided babies like puppies.
Yeah, oh my god, like, I never had a thing for I was not one for dogs at all. Then I have my son, and my son he's like your one, massive eyes, big downturned eyes. He looks like a puppy Labrador,
and they behave like puppies.
And now every time I see a dog, I literally feel those reactions. So I was literally when I was doing my Edinburgh show, there was a girl doing her show and she had a dog with her, so her boyfriend would bring the dog to meet her after her show, and I was literally salivating over that dog because I miss my boy so much, and everyone... Ryan's like, you're so weird, and I'm like, but he looks like a puppy.
It's a dog. Look at it.
But I never cared for dogs. I'd never be like, oh, dogs. I was always like, ooh, dogs. And then the moment I had my son, and because he literally looks like a Labrador.
So my one is most like a puppy when I'm feeding her, because I'll be like eating my dinner, mind my own business, and she'll look at me like, "Have some food."
Look at your mum.
Mummy's moaning about you.
I know, she's trying to speak for herself.
Out of order.
Right.
I think it's really important to get as much plantain in your hair, up your nose as possible.
It's everywhere.
And on your mum,
really
on your mum and all.
Smear it round. Yeah, unless it's up your nose and all over your hair and in your eyebrows, you just ain't going to do a good job.
Auntie Esther. This is just what I need.
Really
this is
smear
what I
it.
needed you for.
You.
So how do you guys fit comedy with what you do during the day? This is what interests me the most.
You go first, Esther, because I'm eating. Go on.
Well, I've handed my notice in, so I'm going to be.
Can I ask what you did?
I was a teacher.
Where? What did you teach?
Media and film. So
Really?
So I'm just working out my notice now. I think I've got 24 days of work left before I am a full-time comic.
That's exciting. That's very exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you. I just can't wait, and I couldn't do it anymore. I just can't do children, gigging at night, and teaching. I was on the verge of just kind of going a bit mad, and also because my teaching days were Thursday and Friday, and they're obviously your main gigging days. So I was doing mental things like Cardiff Glee, and then getting a train at 4 a.m. and going straight to school and teaching.
Oh, I've done that. Yeah.
And you're just like, it's too much, and then you get in. And then you've got to do the kids, sort them out, get them bathed, get them showered, and then you go out and gig on a Friday.
Yeah.
So come Saturday, I was just like, I feel really sick, really sick. And my husband was like, because you're exhausted and that's why you're really nauseous.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, okay. I think we need to take this a notch down.
But Fathia, you're looking very fresh-faced. That's obviously not the case. You're managing things a lot better.
This is prayer, mate. Prayer does this.
She always says this. She always says this.
So I work I do admin for a university.
Okay.
So I do 9 to 5. I do 10 to 6, but I do Monday to Friday.
I was going to say 10 to 4.
She's like, I do an hour.
So yeah, 10 to 6, Monday to Friday, and then I gig 4 or 5 nights a week.
And what are your ambitions for 1.5 hours? Because I see French and Saunders.
I love it when people say that. We get told that a lot. Brown version of French and Saunders.
Yeah, we do.
But even totally different, because what's interesting about your sketch comedy is that it's very set in the real world. So it's almost like you take something that's happened and then you recreate it into like a meme or something. So it's even funnier than that, because it's like highly relatable. Does that make sense? Like, it's not like surreal.
Yeah.
Like that.
I think.
Thank you. That's really kind.
That is really kind.
Sorry, go on.
I don't know. I think we'll just.
I'm being hospitable.
I think we'll just see. I don't think there's any point having goals in life. So
Ooh, interesting. Let's talk about that. So you don't think there's any point in having goals? What, should you just lay around and like smoke weed and just like do nothing?
That'd be amazing.
No, it's a lovely philosophy. Let's talk more about that.
Not to not have goals. You can have aspirations, but I think you shouldn't set anything that's going to make you unhappy. I think by having goals and setting expectations, positive or negative.
Yeah.
So I don't believe you find that a lot of people that are not motivated tend to be because they believe they can't do it, or they don't want to try and fail. Try at everything, but just enjoy what you're doing. Try everything, enjoy it, and then don't have any expectations. Don't think this isn't going to work, and don't think it is going to work. Whatever's going to be will be. It's kismet, Arabic for fate.
Or the crack.
Or the crack.
like the Irish do it for the crack.
Yeah.
And what's the definition of kismet again?
Fate.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not quite doing it for the crack.
No. But it means, it's fate. It'll be what will be. And I think if you're enjoying something, do it. Of course, take every opportunity. But there is absolutely no point, because most of the time, if you look back at life a year ago, for most people, they'll say, "Oh, I never thought this would happen. This would happen. This would happen. I never saw it coming." So you can't plan for things.
I agree. I totally. I've got the same. I sort of do the same thing. I just go and do my gigs, and then people book me, and then I just do it without.
When I first started
and then
comedy,
other opportunities come up from that.
But when I first started comedy, I think I did have goals, and it made me really unhappy. Because you sit there and you start going, well, everyone else has this, or they're getting signed by agents. I'm not getting signed. And it makes you really unhappy. And the moment I just sat back and was like, do you know what will be, and just put everything into my actual performance, it started to take off a lot more?
I kind of say we take a bit from both. So I always set about 3 or 4 goals every year. And they're quite like tangible goals. And they were only ever for me at the end of every year to say, should I keep doing comedy? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, if I haven't progressed further, if I'm not capable of doing this, if I'm not creatively competent enough, should I just quit and go back to my day job? Because I won't lie, guys, I had a fairly lucrative day job before this. So it wasn't, it was like, if I was going to do comedy, it had to be something that was a realistic career path for me. Yeah. But the other thing is, I think you have to make your own luck. So it's like, there are some things you can't plan for, but when those things arrive, you can be ready for them, you know? So that's really interesting. Remember I was saying about the podcast? Sorry, there's plantain Mageddon on the floor. I'm so upset right now. Do you want me to pick it up? No, you have to pick it up. This girl's going to pick it up. Right, you get one more piece.
That face on her says, no, I ain't.
You got one more
Sorry,
piece.
there is one king
please watch the plantain on the floor. But you make your own luck, I think. So what happened is you keep working, keep writing. You're not even looking at me. You're not even
No, but do you care?
The last thing you said was plantain Mageddon. That was the last thing you said was plantain Mageddon. We was listening.
Anyway, as a creative in any industry, you make your own luck. So if you keep working and and also be nice. Yeah. Like, God, the amount of people who just aren't nice. Yeah. And I don't mean be nice for a strategic thing, but just it's such a privilege, I think, to be a performer. Yeah. So just be nice, and then when things happen, you're ready. Like you have the competency or the material or the confidence.
Yeah, being nice. I agree with you. Sometimes you go to gigs and then there's these people that are professional like they're signed, they've been on TV and things like that. And then like other acts are performing and they're talking that they might be there to headline, and I'm like, this ain't on. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm going to get up there and I'm going to do 5 minutes or 10 minutes of just tearing you up. Yeah. Like, do you know, why would you do that?
And everyone starts somewhere. Like, well done for you having been in the industry for 12 years.
Exactly.
Fathia's not very good at ass kissing.
I'm shocked.
She doesn't care. She doesn't care what you've done on TV. She's gonna read you like a book.
Who's the most famous person that you blanked?
Oh my God, I can't say the name. I'll tell you after the podcast.
She would literally be like, you know this person? No, but she'll be like, you know this person? And I'll be like, yeah, they're really nice. Are you mad? Have you seen them? They're this. Then 2 weeks later, she'll be like, oh yeah, I performed with that person. They're actually really nice. I've got it wrong. And I'm like, I love the way if somebody's just having an off day. Or you know, sometimes people before they go on stage, they really are rubbish at communicating. They can be really off. And
they can be in their zone.
Yeah, and you can think, oh, they're quite... You'll see that, and then she'll be livid, and the next time she'll see them and they'll be off stage, and she's like, oh, actually, they were really nice. They're really nice. I'll take that back, actually. Yeah, I'll take that.
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech, yeah. My thing is this: any comedian that gets given restrictions on what they should say or do, who isn't happy with them, isn't a professional comedian. No, because you give people the world service. I know,
it's terrible.
That's my child going, Athena, stop being rude.
That's your child putting restrictions on you.
Because if you do a show for the BBC World Service, they will want to see your script. If you do a show for a show for Comedy Central, they probably want to see your material. Yeah. And there are things you can't say, not because the world is unfair, but because they know their audience, and your job is to make their audience laugh.
That's right. Absolutely, and that's what. I have a massive issue with this. It's like, I'll just get up and do 20 minutes about cussing Islam, and I'm like, but number one, you're not Muslim. Number two, that's rude. Yeah. And number three, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Exactly. So, do you know what I'm saying?
But also, why don't you just cuss religion in general? Yeah. Why isn't anyone having a go at the Sikhs? Yeah. You know what I mean? What have they done?
Yeah, what have they done recently?
Yeah. But no one's having a go at it's really interesting.
What is so important
she's having
that
a
you have to say?
Oh my gosh,
what is so important that you have to say? Oh, you've seen Grandma.
You should see these waveforms. It's just her voice going. Okay, let's round up on this because we spoke briefly about you work in a school. So what age do you teach?
16 to 19.
Okay, that age. That's a fizzy age.
That is a fizzy age.
That's a fizzy age. What would you say? I always think about social media and mobile phones and kids, especially because I got one now. Again, you're not looking at me anymore.
I know.
Both of you, just look at the baby.
I'm just trying to keep baby quiet while you talk.
What's the issue? Do you have a big problem with these kind of things at your school when you're teaching? Are they looking for you online?
Well,
what was that face? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I had some students from my school turn up at a show.
Uninvited?
Yeah. Uninvited, and I didn't teach them, but they're at the school.
Right.
So, yeah,
Just to be clear, they came specifically to see you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's all, it's not ideal because of the age that I teach and the stuff that I talk about. So that's partly why I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do comedy now. And also because I can't balance both of them. But I could keep doing it. I don't think the school really has a problem with it.
No, people don't. In fact,
but I don't feel massively comfortable. But I think there is a huge thing of social media issues, like in terms of like mobile phones and that age group. I think it's a real problem with them, because I think when you're immature, it's so easy to just think that things are not going to affect you in the long term.
Yeah.
And they don't have a real sense of consequence.
And it's
16.
permanence. It's permanence.
Yeah.
When you send those pictures and you take them, it's ridiculous. And Fathia, how do your colleagues know you're a performer?
Yeah, they know. When I did the Hackney Empire, they all turned up. There was about 100 people that I knew turned up.
Really?
It was insane. But it's a lot of pressure when it's people you know.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I don't mind if people don't like it, because it's comedy's subjective. Not everyone's going to like you.
But if the people don't like you and you don't know them, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is it.
If someone's walking home who I
say.
don't know goes, oh, she was shit, I don't care.
Yeah.
But when your colleague's like, oh,
that's nice.
You're really brave. You're really brave for doing that.
Oh, that's the worst. Comedy's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what I always say to my friends, don't bother watching if you're not a stand-up comedy fan in general.
Yeah.
Because some people think, oh, it's comedy, so it'll just make me laugh because it's supposed to be funny. But if you're not a stand-up fan, you might not understand like the laughter cues. Does that make sense? So some people are like, oh, that was funny, but what they mean is this isn't what I do for entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't how I normally make myself laugh. These people, I don't know what they normally do, but it's not stand-up comedy. And a lot of people, they might watch stand-up on Netflix, which is even worse because they don't have to laugh out loud. You just you just nod your head. You just nod your head and go, oh, that was funny. That was funny. So I definitely. You get to that stage, at the beginning you want all your friends to come, and you get to a stage where your friends show up and you think, oh, don't come to this one. I wouldn't have asked you to come to this one.
I always do that. They're like, when are you performing next? I'm like, never.
In 3 years time at the Apollo. Fingers crossed. But obviously you're not planning, so
not planning.
So what's I guess like comedy's a weird thing because it's kind of like you can always be on the cusp for like forever, if that makes sense.
And also the
other is success as well. I don't know. I don't really kind of.
But also you can, you know, like if we're gonna, because firstly I was thinking I'm more like Esther in terms of I just go with it kind of thing. But I'm also similar to you. I don't plan, but I have an idea of where I would like to go or end up.
Yeah.
But the thing is, sometimes you can reach that and still not be successful. There are people that have done live at the Apollo. Do you see them now ever again? No. Do you know what I mean?
There are some, but still, you see people at live at the Apollo, then you do a terrible gig like, you know, the next day, and they're there, and you think, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
You know, like, what are you doing in this basement?
This
You're
is
famous,
it.
Right? You've made it.
This is it.
I know people who've done TV gigs and they still have their day job.
Yeah.
What's the kind of like, do you have any like Arab comedy heroes? Because I don't know that much about this.
It's not big here. In the US, it's big, but
it's a different type.
And were you fans of that circuit or those comedians?
I always liked Ahmed, who's an Egyptian American comedian, and I've always been fans of people that talk about their background because that's what I related to. So like Jeannie Ashiri, Shafi Korsani, like these were people that I watched and you just related to it.
Yeah.
So it was Jeannie Ashiri, when she's talking about her mum, it really resonated with me because I remember having such similar discussions with like family members. But then there are other people, you don't have anything on with them, you just find them funny.
Who did you find funny?
For me, I like the old Black American comedians.
Okay.
So obviously like Eddie Murphy, Bernie Mac.
Yeah,
like those are my favourites.
That comes out in your style, you know.
Oh really?
You know Bernie Mac's got that famous. No, because he's got the famous "I ain't afraid of you motherfuckers." That's literally you ain't afraid of no one. You know?
Well, do you remember that time we did a gig, Esther, and I didn't remember at the Royal Festival Hall? And I wanted to destroy it, and you were like, Fathia, don't, because I really didn't like, the promoter really pissed me off. And I was like, I'm going to destroy this gig. I'm going to go up there, I'm going to speak Arabic for 15 minutes. And she was like, Fathia, don't be so stupid. And I'm like, I don't care. And I was all like, by Allah, I will destroy everything here.
She's a liability. She's an absolute liability. And everyone thinks because she wears the hijab and I'm the one that drinks and doesn't cover up, they're like, oh, Esther must be the loose cannon, and she must be the subdued look. And I'm like, no, she's mental, and I'm always having to try and calm her down.
I like the fact you're just like always restraining her. Why don't you do the material about cats? Why don't you do that? They'll really like it, man.
Just do your normal jokes. Do not go. She was livid. She's always livid.
I was going to destroy that night, but I didn't. When I went out, there was 400 people.
Why were you livid? Let's finish on this. Why were you angry?
Because the promoter was messed up a couple of things, and I didn't like it. And there was a couple of things. I can't say too much, but I can tell you off this.
I'll tell you after. She's rubbing her eyes. She wants to go to sleep. When we're finished, what a surprise. Okay, so I guess we're going to wrap it up there, because I really enjoyed this conversation, and there's only 2 pieces of plantain yet, which means we pretty much.
Oh my god! Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
You know when you get when someone cooks something you haven't had for ages, it reawakens it, doesn't it?
That's nice. That's what I do. I just like to. Because you're coming around for free, so I've got to fill your bellies.
Oh, mate.
It's fine. You know what?
Thank you so much for having us.
Speaking on the word of free, sorry to say, sometimes I'm not a picky one. You have to do I want to do it, number one.
Yeah.
But you can't always get. Sometimes it's just the way it goes. The circuit. You just have to.
Well, listen. As soon as I started seeing your sketches, I was like, I've got to have you. So I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased you made it down.
Well, happy to come.
How can people find? Because I want everyone to watch your stuff. So what's the best way to connect with you?
1.5 Arabs on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Yes. That's the decimal representation of heritage.
1.5. Yes.
1.5.
1.5. It's so funny the amount of people that think Fatiha's the half.
Yes.
because she's not Arab, she's Muslim. I'm like, I love the way you think being Muslim is a race.
And as individuals, how in case you get a divorce, people might.
So Esther Manito on everything.
And mine's Fathia el-Ghorri on everything.
Gorgeous.
She's
we got to wrap this up.
She's crackhead comedy.
She wants to eat the plantain off the floor, and it's she's god, not in front of company.
No, it'll be fine, Baba.
Esther and Fathia, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us. Thank you so much. May Allah bless this podcast with sustenance. Whatever that means.
Is she being real or is she taking a piss?
I don't know what she's talking about.
It sounds like she's taking a piss.
He ain't up there sat there listening to.
I know, can you imagine? He's now Fathia's on it. People, I'll get her some subscribers.
Yeah.
So that was Esther Manito and Fathia el-Ghorri, otherwise known as 1.5 Arabs. Aren't they fantastic? They make me laugh so much. Do find them on Instagram. You can find them at 1.5 Arabs, which is obviously shorthand for 1.5 Arabs. I love their content. So much chemistry between them. So funny. So many witticisms. So many great observations. They do memes, little videos, little clips and pictures and stuff. They're brilliant, and they're individual stand-ups as well. So you can find them on their individuals' pages, websites, and things like that to keep up with where they are performing. I am a stand-up comedian too. If you want to see me in real life, you can check to see where I'm performing on my website if I update that. And I think I will update it soon. You can also see me for sure on Wednesday the 16th of October. That is Wednesday the 16th of October in King's Cross at a show called Library Laughs. It's called Library Laughs because we are raising money for a library in Accra. We have the best acts. We have so many brilliant acts performing, including myself. Acts probably funnier than myself. I'm telling you, we've got a great lineup. So do check that out. The link for that show is in the description of this podcast, and you can also find out about that show on my social media feeds as well. And you will know that because I've been talking about Library Laughs a lot over the past few weeks. Anyway, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope if you listened to previous ones, you enjoyed the previous episodes. Please do what you normally do when you find a podcast you like. Share, rate, comment, tell your friends, tell your family, even tell your enemies, build bridges. I don't know, but whatever you do, your support means a lot. So thank you so much for listening, and we will catch up next time.